Bathroom Breaks and Bedtime Tales presents Welcome to America by Sevastian Winters.
I follow the line toward the familiar blue booths, rolling my suitcase with one hand and holding my passport in the other, the thin booklet already warm from my palm. I think of the last time I was here, before the cancer took her from me. I think perhaps my wife's enjoyment of America was even greater than mine.
3 years later, the carpet still smells like old coffee and disinfectant. Somewhere behind me, a child is crying. Somewhere ahead, a man laughs too loudly, relieved, already through. I step forward when the line moves, shoes sticking slightly to the floor, the wheels of my bag rattling like loose teeth.
I rehearse nothing. There is nothing to rehearse. I am here on a tourist visa. I have a return ticket. I have hotel confirmations folded carefully in my bag, copies in my email, backups of the backups. I have done this before in other countries, other airports, other lines. I have learnt that the trick is to look calm without looking eager, confident without looking arrogant. I keep my shoulders loose. I keep my eyes up.
The officer doesn't look at my face at first. He takes my passport, flips it open, scans it, and stamps something on a screen I can't see. His fingers are thick and dry, the skin cracked at the knuckles. He smells faintly of mint gum and sweat. When he finally looks at me, it's not curiosity, it's inventory.
How long are you here? He asks.
2 weeks, I say.
Where are you staying?
I tell him the hotel name. He types. The keys clack, sharp and fast, like he's annoyed at the machine. He pauses, looks at the screen again, then at me. His eyes flick to my wrist, to the watch my father gave me years ago, when he could still afford gifts like that, then back to my face.
What's the purpose of your visit? Vacation, I say. Tourism. He hums, a sound that means nothing. He takes my passport again, holds it for a beat longer than necessary. The line behind me shuffles. Someone sighs. The officer raises his hand without looking back, palm out, stopping the line. Step to the side, he says. He points toward my suitcase. Leave that there.
Just that. Not please, not sir, not one moment. A gesture of his chin toward a yellow line painted on the floor. I feel heat bloom behind my ears, a sudden flush I can't control. I move where he points. I stand on the yellow line and wait, my passport no longer in my hand.
Another officer appears, younger, chewing gum aggressively. He doesn't introduce himself. He doesn't ask my name. He looks at me, then at the first officer.
Secondary, the first one says. The younger officer nods. Phone, he says, holding out his hand.
For how long? I ask, and hear the mistake as soon as the words leave my mouth.
He smiles, thin and humorless, temporary. I hand it over. The weight of it leaves my palm, and something else goes with it. A small anchor I didn't know I was using. He motions again. Bag, too. I hesitate just long enough for the first officer to look at me again, his eyebrows lifting. I slide the strap off my shoulder and give up the bag. The zipper is half open. I see the edge of my folded documents inside, the corner of a book I brought for the flight back. The younger officer turns away without closing it.
Stand here, he says.
I stand. The yellow line feels suddenly ridiculous, like a boundary drawn by a child. Around me, people pass through the booths, stamps thudding, passports snapping shut. A woman in a red coat waves at someone beyond the barrier, grinning. A man pumps his fist, victorious. The line keeps moving.
Hey, the first officer says, not looking at me. Take that off.
What? I ask.
He nods at my wrist. Watch.
It was my father's. I don't care if it belonged to Muhammad himself. Take it off. I unbuckle it. The metal is warm against my skin, where it's been pressed for hours. I hold it out. He takes it without comment, drops it into a clear plastic bag already labeled with a number. No name, just a number. He notices my ring then, the simple band I twist sometimes without thinking.
That too.
It's my wedding ring, sir. I have not taken it off since my wife died.
Do you want to be charged with obstructing an investigation? I said take it off, now.
Investigation? I do not understand.
I swear to God, Osama, if you don't take that fucking ring off.
My name is Khalil. I am from Bangladesh.
Did I fucking ask you? Take it off, now. Don't make me ask you again.
I slide it off. For a second, it sticks, my fingers swollen from the flight. I pull harder. It comes free with a small, humiliating pop. The officer takes it, adds it to the bag, seals it with a zip that sounds final.
Follow him, he says, handing the bag to someone else. He doesn't even write my name on it. The younger officer doesn't wait to see if I am behind him. He turns and walks through a door marked authorized personnel only. I hurry after him, my heart beating harder now, a thick, heavy thud in my chest. The door closes behind us with a sound like a vault. The hallway smells different, cleaner, sharper. No windows. The lights hum faintly overhead. We walk past other doors, some open, some closed. I glimpse a room with chairs bolted to the floor, another with a long counter and no chairs at all. Voices echo, indistinct, layered.
Where are we going?
I ask. He doesn't answer. We turn another corner. The carpet disappears, replaced by hard tile. He stops abruptly in front of a metal door with a small window at eye level. Through it I see movement, shapes packed together. He opens the door. Inside, he says. I step forward. The air changes immediately. Heavier, warmer, thick with sweat and something sour. The room is larger than I expect and smaller at the same time, crowded with bodies pressed into every available space. Men and women of all ages sit on concrete benches, stand against walls and squat on the floor. Some look up when I enter, some don't bother. The lights are bright and relentless, buzzing faintly. The door closes behind me. The lock clicks.
I stand there for a moment, my wrist bare, my finger naked. No one tells me where to sit. No one tells me what will happen next. A man near the wall shifts to make room, gesturing with his chin. I nod in thanks and move towards him, the noise of the room washing over me. Coughs, Murmurs, a low, constant undercurrent of fear I can taste at the back of my throat.
I sit. The concrete is cold through my clothes. I look at my wrist again, at the pale line where the watch used to be, and then at my hand, the ring missing like a tooth.
No one says my name. No one asks how long I've been there. No one asks how long I'll stay.
The lights do not flicker, they do not dim, they stay on, unwavering, as time stretches into something shapeless and waiting becomes the only thing left to do.
They turn me toward the wall. Face it, someone says, close enough that I can feel his breath on the back of my neck. I do. The paint is chipped and filthy, layered with old smears and fingerprints that don't belong to one person or one day. I keep my hands where they put them, palms flat, fingers spread. A camera hums overhead, steady and patient. I can feel it watching the shape of me.
Don't move. Hands come in hard, not searching so much as asserting ownership. My pockets are emptied without explanation. Cash counted somewhere behind me. Paper shuffled, then gone. Every second strips something away. The places where things used to be feel louder than the rest of me. My wrist, my finger, my pockets. Each absence a pressure I can't scratch.
They say my name wrong again, louder this time, slower, like repetition will make it stick. I open my mouth to correct them, close it again. I already know better. Speaking costs something here. Silence is the only thing I can afford. Hands up. I raise them. Someone laughs quietly behind me. Something presses into my lower back. Knuckles maybe, or just a reminder. My heart jumps and then starts pounding too fast. I focus on the wall, on breathing without drawing attention, on staying still. Move. I am pushed down another corridor. The floor changes under my feet. The lights buzz louder here, flickering just enough to make my eyes ache if I look at them too long. We pass a counter stacked with clear plastic bags, all numbered, none named. A man behind it is eating from a paper wrapper, grease on his fingers. He looks up at me, then away, already bored. A door opens. Heat pours out. The smell hits immediately. Sweat, unwashed bodies, old clothes soaked through with time and fear. The room is packed with men, shoulder to shoulder, no space wasted. Concrete benches line the walls, already full. The rest stand or squat wherever there's room, backs pressed to walls, eyes dull, faces tight. I step inside. The door slams shut behind me. The lock slides home with a sound that settles deep in my chest. No one explains anything. No one asks my name. No one tells me where to go. I am absorbed into the room like another piece of furniture. A man near the wall rubs his wrists over and over, skin raw. Another stares straight ahead, lips moving silently. Someone closer to the door starts to complain and is cut off mid-word by a shout, sharp enough to silence the entire room. I edge toward an open strip of wall and press my back against it. The concrete is cold through my clothes. My feet already hurt. My mouth is dry, my tongue thick. I swallow and taste metal. There is no clock. There are no windows. The lights stay on, bright and unforgiving. A man beside me glances at my bare wrist, then at my empty finger. He meets my eyes for a brief second and gives a small shake of his head. Not sympathy, confirmation. I understand exactly what he means. Time stops meaning anything. No announcements, no schedule, just the lights and the heat and the bodies packed too close together. Sweat collects at the base of my spine with nowhere to go. My mouth dries until my tongue feels thick and useless. Someone asks for water. A guard looks in, makes eye contact with no one, and walks away. Hours pass, or minutes. There's no difference anymore.
Food comes once, if it counts. A guard slides trays through the bars like he's feeding animals. No utensils, no explanation. By the time the trays reach the back, there are none left. A man protests, not loudly, just confused. The guard tells him to shut up and threatens to move him somewhere darker. The man goes quiet immediately.
My stomach cramps anyway, twisting in on itself, hungry and nauseous at the same time. A man nearby keeps coughing, deep and wet, the sound scraping the inside of my skull. He says he needs his medication. He says it again when no one responds. A guard finally snaps at him that medical requests are under review. If he keeps asking, they'll note it as agitation. Water shows up eventually, handed out in tiny plastic cups like communion. One sip, maybe two. Anyone who asks for more is ignored. When my turn comes, my hand shakes so badly I spill half of it on my shirt. The guard smirks. Careful, he says. He takes the cup back before I finish. Sleep is impossible. Sitting hurts, standing hurts more. I doze for seconds at a time, my head knocking back against the wall, my knees threatening to buckle. Every time I start to sleep under, someone yells, keys rattle, a door slams, the room jerks awake as one body.
Names are never used. They call out numbers instead. When they read mine, it takes a second for me to recognize it. That hesitation earns me a shove between the shoulder blades.
I am taken into a smaller room, colder and quieter. A table bolted to the floor. A chair that doesn't quite fit my legs. Two officers this time. One types and the other watches me, like I might run, despite there being nowhere to go. You are not under arrest, the one typing says, without looking up. I say nothing. You do not have the right to an attorney. Still nothing. You will answer questions when asked. He looks at me now. Do you understand? Yes, I say. Louder. Yes. He nods once, satisfied. Good. They ask the same questions again. Where I'm staying, why I'm here, how long. I give the same answers. The typing gets faster, sharper. The other officer interrupts, contradicts, reframes. That's not what you said earlier. Yes, it is, I say, then immediately regret it. The officer stands, leans forward, palms flat on the table. You calling us liars? No, I say. I'm just... Stop talking, he snaps. You talk too much. They leave the room without telling me where they're going. I sit there alone, staring at the tabletop, counting scratches. When they come back, there's a form on the table. This is a voluntary withdrawal, the typing officer says. You sign, you leave.
Leave where? I ask. Home, he says, wherever that is. And if I don't sign?
The standing officer smiles, finally. Then you stay. Or you get moved. Or you get sent somewhere that isn't your home. Depends on how cooperative you feel like being.
I didn't do anything wrong, I say.
That's irrelevant, the typing officer says. We are past that. Can I call my family? I ask. They don't know where I am.
The standing officer laughs. Not our problem.
How long can you keep me? I ask.
He shrugs. Longer than you think.
He slides the form closer to me. I look at it. Dense paragraphs. Legal language designed to be signed, not understood. Take it back to the room, the typing officer says. He can think about it.
I'm walked back without another word. The door opens. The heat and smell hit me like a wall. The men look up when I come in, searching my face. I don't meet their eyes. I shake my head once.
Someone mutters, "Fuck." I slide down the wall until I'm sitting on the floor, my knees pulled in tight. My legs tremble with exhaustion. No one tells me to stand. No one checks on me. I understand now. This isn't about answers. It isn't about the truth. It's about how long they can keep taking things from me until I give them what they want. A guard kicks the bars with the side of his boot. Not hard, just loud enough. Everyone flinches anyway. Stand up, he says, pointing at no one in particular. 3 men stand. One is too slow. The guard grabs his sleeve and yanks him upright, face inches away. Whatever he says next is too quiet to hear, but the man nods fast, eyes wide, and is shoved back into place. They start moving through the room more often now, walking slow, stopping behind people, leaning in close, saying things just loud enough to carry. Some of you are still confused. Some of you think this is a waiting room.
A man near the corner asks when he'll see a judge. The guard laughs once, sharp and sudden. This isn't court.
Another man asks where he's going if he leaves. A guard shrugs. Depends what's available. Someone says the name of a country. The guard repeats it wrong on purpose. Another guard corrects him, then adds a different one. They grin at each other like it's a game. Food doesn't come. Water doesn't come.
The coughing man is still coughing, louder now. He bends forward, retching dryly. A guard tells him to sit down or be moved. The man tries to explain, hands fluttering weakly. The guard steps closer. The explanation stops. They call my number. I don't hesitate this time.
They don't put me in a chair. They stop me at a counter. My feet ache immediately. 2 officers stand across from me. One flips through a thin stack of papers without reading them. The other watches my face.
A form slides across the counter. No explanation.
Read it, the one watching me says.
I scan the first lines. Dense text. Words I recognize are arranged in ways that make them useless.
What happens if I sign? I ask.
He taps the paper once. You go back.
And if I don't? The other officer looks up then. You wait.
How long? He smiles without warmth. Longer.
I swallow. My mouth is dry again.
What about my things? I ask. The first officer snorts. You worried about jewelry? I need my phone, I say. My family.
Not our issue.
He leans closer, lowering his voice. You don't sign. You go somewhere else. Somewhere with more room, fewer questions. You don't get to pick. I look down at the form again. My hands are shaking. I try to steady them against the counter. The paper blurs.
Behind them, through the open doorway, I can see the corridor leading back to the room. A guard pushes another man through the door, hard enough that he stumbles. The door slams shut. The sound carries.
The pen is placed in my hand. It feels heavier than it should. I hesitate for a second too long. The watching officer tilts his head, just slightly. Up to you, he says.
My name is printed nowhere on the page. I sign anyway. The paper is pulled away immediately. The pen disappears with it.
Wait, someone says, already turning his back. I stand there, hands empty, while they talk to each other about something else.
They don't tell me what happens next.
I am left standing at the counter while they finish a conversation about something unrelated. Shift schedules, a broken printer, a flight delay somewhere else. My name never comes up. The paper I signed is already gone, folded into a file I won't see again. When I ask what I am supposed to do now, no one answers. A guard finally gestures with his chin towards the corridor. Wait there, I wait. Minutes stretch, my legs tremble. Every sound makes me look up, expecting to be called back, to be told I did it wrong. No one looks at me. When someone finally does, it's to tell me to move again.
They walk me past the room. I don't get to go back inside. The door stays closed. I catch a glimpse through the small window. Men pressed together, faces turned towards the light, watching me pass like I am leaving a ship they are still trapped on. No one speaks. The guard doesn't slow down.
A different hallway now. Quieter, cleaner. The air smells like floor polish. My phone is handed back to me without ceremony. The screen is dark. I try to turn it on and a guard snaps, "Don't." I slip it into my pocket anyway, feeling its useless weight. They give me my passport. It's bent at the corner. Something inside has been stamped. I don't look. I'm afraid of what I'll see, and afraid of what I won't. Follow the line, a guard says, pointing to the floor. Blue tape this time.
I follow it through a series of doors, each one opening only after the last closes. At one point, they stop me and pat me down again, quicker, rougher. I ask about my watch. The guard doesn't answer. I ask about my ring. He looks at me like I've asked for something unreasonable. Move.
We reach a gate that isn't a gate. No signs, no windows. A group of men stand there already, quiet, eyes fixed on nothing. Some clutch documents, some have nothing in their hands at all. A guard counts us without speaking, pointing, tapping shoulders. When he's done, he nods once and opens a door. The jetway smells like fuel and recycled air.
I recognize it instantly. The familiarity almost hurts. We walk single file. No one talks. At the plane door, a flight attendant smiles automatically, then falters when she sees us. Her smile flickers back on, weaker.
Welcome aboard, she says, like it's a habit she can't break. We are seated at the back. No announcements are made for us. No one explains anything. A guard stands in the aisle until the doors close, then leaves without looking back.
As the plane pulls away from the gate, my phone buzzes weakly in my pocket and dies again. I don't take it out. I stare at the seat in front of me, at the safety card tucked into the pocket, at the small print explaining what to do in an emergency.
When the plane lifts off, my stomach drops, not from the motion, but from the certainty of it.
I was never in America. I was only processed through it.
The plane lands before most are awake. I have not slept. I am not sure I ever will again.
The airport is smaller, quieter. The air smells different, dust and diesel and something sweet I can't place. No one rushes me here. No one raises their voice. My passport is stamped without comment and handed back the way it always used to be, as if nothing inside it has changed.
At home, the door sticks in its frame. I shoulder it open and stand there for a moment, listening. The refrigerator hums. Everything is where I left it, except for the spaces on my body that feel wrong. I set my bag down and wash my hands. I wash them again. The water runs cloudy, then clear. My wrist looks naked under the light. My finger feels lighter than it should. I turn my hand back and forth, as if the weight might return if I look at it long enough. My phone finally comes back to life. Messages stack up all at once. Missed calls, questions, a single text that just says, "Where are you?" and then another that says, "Please." I type and delete again. I send something vague, change of plans, home now. It feels like lying, and it feels like mercy.
Later, when the sun is up, I walk to the market. A man in uniform stands near the corner, talking to someone else. My body tightens before I realize it's happening. I slow my steps. I lower my eyes when I pass him. He doesn't look at me at all.
At night, I dream of lights that don't turn off. I wake with my jaw clenched, my heart racing, my hands searching for things that aren't there. I stop wearing jewelry altogether. I stop carrying anything I can't afford to lose. When people ask about the trip, I say it was short. I say it didn't work out. I say maybe another time. I learn which questions to answer and which ones make my chest hurt. Sometimes, when I close my eyes, I can still hear the hum, the doors, the locks sliding into place. I don't tell anyone that part. I don't have to.